Hi everyone, just a quick review for the schwa because it's kind of a weird vowel and has special properties. So in case you want to review this, here's a quick review. So we have this phenomenon called the schwa, um, also spelled schwa like this. Sometimes in Hebrew text, such as in your handout, it's called a Shewa. And sometimes it's called Shewa, so where the W makes a V sound, so kind of a Germanic pronunciation. But these, if you see these terms, they're all referring to the exact same thing. So let's start off talking about the vocal schwa, so the sound that the schwa can make. First of all, what is it? So it's a vowel written with two dots below a letter. And like the dagesh, but unlike other vowels, the schwa is, and I say unfortunately for us, a multi-purpose symbol. So you remember that the dagesh can mean, can just be used to change the sound of a letter, certain letters, but it can also indicate the doubling of a letter. So the the schwa is sort of like that in that it can mean two different things when it's used. And we would have liked that the people that came up with this whole system would have used different symbols to do this, but for whatever reason they did not. Maybe they ran out of ideas. I don't know. So the first purpose of a schwa is to indicate a very short sound. And if you listen to modern Israelis speak Hebrew, the sound is very, very short. And sometimes it's almost not even noticeable. The schwa at the beginning of the word is always pronounced, and together with the initial consonant, the two together form a syllable. So let's consider this word. This is a word which is a command word, which means to hear and obey, to kind of listen up, and it is pronounced Shema. So the first syllable is sh. Everyone see that? And the second syllable is ma. So remember that in, the last letter there, is silent. So it's just sh, ma. Now, again, sometimes this gets really compressed, this first syllable, so it almost sounds like shma. Um, but it needs to have at least a little bit of sound there, so it should be shema. Schwas can also appear in the middle of words, so they're not just for the beginning of words, and where appropriate, they make the same vowel sound, so the same sound. So here's the other use of the schwa. So this is called the silent schwa. The schwa is also used to simply mark the end of a syllable, which is very handy actually. It shows you where a syllable ends in kind of a long, confusing word. But in this case, the schwa makes no sound and is commonly known as a silent schwa. So let's take the word Yisrael. So it's an important word, appears many, many, many times in the Hebrew Bible. So our first syllable is yis. Excuse me, yis. And you'll see the schwa there underneath the sin, so the letter that makes the S sound. But the schwa is not making any sound in this case. It's not Yisrael, it's just Yisrael. So in this case, the schwa is showing you where the syllable ends. So it's Yis, Ra, El. So again, the schwa just marks the end of a syllable. Another thing the silent schwa can do is it can appear at the end of a word, particularly when you have that final cough. And it reminds the reader, it's kind of a little heads up to you, that there is no vowel sound at the end of this word, especially in cases where the reader might expect a vowel sound. So that final cough with a kametz vowel, which is the T-shaped ah vowel that you're used to, often appear together at the ends of words because they're a way of marking either you or the possessive your. So either you or your is written with a kaf and that kamatz vowel. So you can read that so often that you might expect there to be a kamatz vowel, but here the schwa just reminds you that nope, no vowel at the end of this word. So this word, or actually name, is pronounced lamech. Lamech. So there's no vowel at the end of this word. And the schwa is really not doing anything here. It's just a little heads up. You can totally ignore it for pronunciation purposes. So this is when sometimes schwas get a little overwhelming or a little complicated. I will say that after a fairly short amount of time, this should be second nature to you, but at first this is a little confusing. So we see two schwas together in this word, and in this case, the first one almost always marks the end of a syllable, and the second one is pronounced with this typical sound. So this is sometimes called the rule of schwa, that you don't pronounce the first one, but you do pronounce the second one. So let's work through the syllables here. So the first syllable is tish. So it's not tisha. So these aren't two syllables here. It's all one syllable, tish. And then the schwa here is just marking the end of the syllable for you, showing that this is really all one syllable. Then the second syllable is ma. So the second schwa is pronounced with the typical sound. So it's tish, ma. And then our final syllable, rune. Tish, ma, rune. Thanks, that's our little review of schwa. I hope that you find this helpful in your work, and if you need to refer back to this on occasion to see how this works, I hope you will do so. Thanks, and have a great day.